right, welcome to the Multiple Choice Podcast, where we say life is the ultimate multiple choice test. So every choice that you make determines your overall life, your mental health, and your well-being. So are you going to go in blind? Are you going to Christmas tree through life? Are you going to pick C? It all depends on you. So I'm Randy. I'm the host of the show. We have here Alana, beautiful Alana.
Hi.
And we're going to go through some topics and hope you guys enjoy. So, Alana, can you
Let's
tell
get
us
it.
about yourself?
Me. My name is Alana. I have an Instagram called Alana's Got Questions,
Yes.
where I ask various questions, relationship type questions, issues with our spouses, our family, friends, whatever the case may be. I just ask questions and try to get feedback from the audience
Okay, nice.
based on my personal experience or other experiences of other people that I know, or just based on what I see.
Cool. Yeah. Good content. I subscribe. I see some of your questions. They're intriguing.
Thanks.
I do comment on some of them. I do feel like sometimes, like when I comment on some of your stuff, I'm like, dang, I need more characters, or I need to
Why?
verbally, because it's hard to have like a discourse like through just text.
Texting?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that was
I feel you.
yeah. All right. So let's get into the topic. We're gonna show the first video.
Men face more rejection in their lifetime than women ever will.
And there might be women out there who says, no, that's not true. But okay, I understand that you're an outlier.
Life for a man is harder than life for a woman. We need to have a lot of shit to be an important man. To be a woman, you need makeup. If you're truly beautiful, you don't need anything else. I've been on boats in Dubai with 19-year-old Moldovan girls. The guy who got that boat needed $100 million. That bitch, makeup, same boat. Look at a game of chess. The king moves one square at a time. He has to really work his way across the board. What does the queen do? Zips here, zips there. Easy for a chick, right?
All right. The most Googled man in the world, Andrew Tate, and the other guys. So what do you think about that topic? The first one, men deal with more rejection throughout their life than women. Do you think?
That's true.
You say that's true?
That's
Okay.
true. But that's because I can only speak for myself, right?
Okay.
Like, I'm not going to go up to a guy and like ask him out. That's not what I
Gotcha.
do. I don't shoot my shot. You'll probably see that all over my page. I would never shoot my shot. And a lot of times women don't like to be rejected.
Yeah.
For me, I don't like to be rejected. So I don't want to put myself out there to get rejected. Why?
Mhm.
Because I have so much pride.
Okay.
I probably shouldn't, but I do. Okay. But for men, it's like, I mean, even though it might be stereotyping or whatever, but men are supposed to be built to be strong, to be leaders. And so one of the aspects or characteristics of being a leader is like going out there and trying to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Try to get the queen, if you will.
Cool. Yeah, I mean, I agree in terms of that. Like, men deal with rejection in terms of the dating aspect, because men are, I mean, we're still held to our traditional male roles, even though we
Right.
live in a society that kind of rejects that.
Uh-huh.
But also the thing is, I'm also thinking when I ask this question, or when this question is posed, it's not only the relationship aspect, but also like other aspects like work and things of that nature. How do you think that correlates with women? Do women experience more rejection when it comes to like the workplace, applying for jobs and other aspects of their life, where it would like overshadow the rejection that men experience when it comes to like dating and like the approach?
Career-wise, do women get rejected? I would think so.
Mm-hmm.
I would think so. I mean, a job is different from relation. Well, yeah, a job is different from a relationship, right? You have to have the skills in order to get that job.
Yeah.
If you don't have the necessary skills, you're not
Or
going to get
someone
it.
you know.
Okay, yeah, that happens.
Yeah.
Depends on someone that you know. But at the end of the day, I don't know if it's a male or a female thing,
Mm-hmm.
in my opinion. You just have to have the necessary skills for it. Do men possibly get the job over women? Actually, nowadays, maybe that was something back in the day.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I feel like more businesses try to get women
Yeah.
because that's the thing nowadays.
I agree. I feel
That's the culturally acceptable thing to do, is get more women in the workplace. I know, like where I work,
Mhm.
you're starting to see more and more women get into the field. I work in HR, so most women work in HR anyway.
Yeah.
But just overall, you are seeing more women become like CEOs, not at a fast pace, but they are.
That's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
so
agree.
as far as the workplace, I don't think women get rejected as much, but they do. But just like a man gets rejected in a
Yeah, I feel
a
like
job.
men get rejected more on both aspects. I think in
You
the
think
work.
so?
Yeah,
Really?
I do. Because I feel that way. Well, I might even use feel. I think it's true because how men are and like the type of jobs we men chooses. I feel like men choose the jobs that are highly competitive, the jobs that that require more. I'd say maybe more schooling or that's difficult. There are more men in the STEM field than women. I think a stat that I read there was about the STEM field is like 83% men, right? So, and we know like STEM field, it's like super competitive depending on where you go, like engineers, doctors, and stuff like that. Those are highly competitive jobs. So I feel like if there's a lot of men who are pursuing these jobs, right, there's going to be a higher percentage of rejections versus women because women
Are
tend
not
not
applying for those positions.
those jobs. Yeah. Because
Okay.
they tend to pursue jobs that are more of human focused.
Okay. Not labor.
Yeah.
But so then you can't I want to say so then you can't say that it's getting reached. Well, I guess you can. I'm not
I mean,
gonna-
I think it's a type of rejection. When you apply for a job, if you don't get it, you're rejected, right? Like, what's the other word to say you didn't get
yeah,
the job?
that's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
So, like, for me, example, I applied. One of the rejections I faced was like when I applied to be an FBI agent. And
Really?
yeah, it was
It's grueling.
yeah, it was a grueling
I'm
process.
sure.
First time I applied, right? I didn't get they denied my application.
Uh-huh.
I'm like, okay, whatever. A year later, I applied. I got to the first part. I had to go somewhere and take a test. Took the test, passed the test. Then they have like other things you got to do. You got to, I can't really say exactly because they have an NDA, but there's a fitness test and there's a panel interview. So the fitness test, that's one of the reasons why I got into running is because the fitness testing
Okay.
required running. So
Yeah.
I was never a runner. I hated running.
I still hate running.
Well,
And I work out 4 days a week.
Yeah, running is like that necessary evil, right?
Yeah.
Like so, I had to learn how to run a mile. Like, bro, I couldn't run a mile to save my life. And the funny thing is, I play basketball, right? You would think I could run, but nah. So I had to learn how to get better at running. I had to, get better at sit-ups, push-ups, and all that stuff. The first physical fitness test, I didn't pass it. So I was like, dang, I didn't pass it. So I need to go back to lab and train more. Then they did something new. This was like around the pandemic because like for like a year, we couldn't finish the process because they were trying to figure it out. But after the pandemic, they like did something new. They were like, okay, we're gonna put the fitness test on hold, right? And we're gonna move everyone to the interview, the panel interview, which was like that was brutal. Like the panel interview,
I hate panel interviews.
Yeah.
I hate them with a passion.
it's crazy because you got 3 agents, right? You're in a
But I
small-
understand for FBI though why they would do a panel interview.
Yeah, I think that's the norm now. Like any job that I've ever applied to has always been a panel. I'm like, okay, like why can't I have one person, right? But I feel like they do that because they want to prevent like biases and stuff like that. So they think having a panel would do that. But back to my story, like yeah. So the thing is, like when I was answering the questions, I felt like I answered the questions right? Like I gave a proper answer, and I'm like, okay, well, any job interview that you go to, you think you got the job, or you feel like you did okay, right? So yeah, after that, I was like, dang. And the thing is, this was brutal because I didn't have a lot of time to to be an agent because there's a deadline because like federal jobs, you have to be in your position before the age of 37.
Really?
Yeah. And I
Oh
w-
wow.
Yes.
So man, after that, it's like, damn that you can't get in.
You can't. Yeah. There's
Oh.
like other like specialties or special cases like if you're a ex-cop, or like if you work there already, they can give you like a provision where you can apply beyond that. So, at that time, I forgot, I think I was like 35 or 36, one of those around that time. So I was kind of like my last shot. I was like, dang. And so I was hoping I did good. After the interview, uh, shook hands, said thank you.
Did
blah,
they
blah.
tell you why though you didn't get accepted?
No, they don't
They
tell
don't
you.
say. They
Yeah,
don't say that.
you just get that generic
That
email.
yeah.
That-
That rejection email.
yeah, that rejection
We're
email.
sorry to inform you that
Yeah.
we've decided to go with other candidates.
Other candidates. Yeah. And for
getcha.
me, I think that was like, in terms of like career wise or job wise, I felt like that was like one of like my worst rejections, because I was like, dang, because it took a while to actually get to that point. Then to finally like get to that point and not have another opportunity in sight, that was bad. I was like, dang, that sucked.
See, but when it comes to reject, because I could easily flip, because you said you feel like men. We're gonna stick on the career since
Okay.
you mentioned career. Men get rejected more, but like you said, it's a type of job, because I could easily go to a female-dominated job and say most females
Yeah.
get rejected. So you can look at it in that aspect of it depends on the type of job
Yeah.
where the rejection lies.
Yeah, I can say that. I mean, you can say that type of job, but I feel like the atmosphere that we live in, and which you alluded to, that people are trying to hire more women. So if that's the case,
Yeah. Yeah.
there's a unconscious bias to do that. So you may look at applications and say, okay, this person's good, that person's good, but we don't have our diversity quota. let me select this person. You feel me? Like,
Yeah.
and like at my job, we have a lot of women in directors. Like, and I work at this medical place, but my specific area is like IT. So, not my direct boss, but my other lady. She's kind of like my boss, because I have like two positions at that job, which is kind of weird. But she's a woman. A lot of the managers there, especially in the IT spot, is that I've noticed are women. So, yeah, women are creeping into like the STEM fields and stuff like that. And I'm not saying it's like a diversity like initiative to like just put them there and like say, hey, this person is highly qualified. But the woman may not be as qualified. We'll still pick the woman because,
I hope they wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Not to say that these people don't, because I'm sure they do.
yeah, I don't think I'm doing that. Like you said, hopefully not.
Yeah.
But I feel like if it's an equal playing field, I feel the way society is now, they'll probably lean towards the woman.
Yeah. How things are going though, they, and I don't know who they are, right? I'm gonna always say they to always generalize it. Society, just those people want to take the and it's happening. It's probably already happened. Like it's been a minute since it's happened, but
Yeah.
take the female out the home, and now the man is the one in the home. So feminize the man, okay? Let him be stay-at-home mom, dad, and then have the woman take the lead. And you're seeing it; they're pushing it real hard nowadays.
Yeah, it is.
If that's how people want to live, go ahead and live that way. I know for me, I wouldn't want my guy to stay at home. I'd want him to work.
You want him to stay home, play video games?
No, I don't want any of that. I don't want you to stay home and take care of the kids. But if that works for other people, that works for them. But you notice that they're trying to take the female out of the home, who is typically the nurturer, and placing them in these positions, which is great. There's some women that love to work and love to dominate the fields that they're in, and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
But when you do that, other things lack if you have children.
Yeah.
That nurturing thing, that motherly side may lack. Not that it lacks with everyone, but a little bit of that is taken away once the woman is out there doing what she needs to do and the man's just home. Watching the kids.
Yeah. Then the woman becomes like more masculine, and the man becomes more feminine.
Yeah.
And yeah, I see that as a push too. But that's probably has to do because of feminism. I would say,
Yeah.
which kind of pushed women into the workforce, but like it's not like women didn't work before feminism, but it was a more strategic push to get more women in the workforce.
Yeah.
So I read a stat. It was like half of the workforce are men, and literally half of the workforce are women. So it's a lot of women who are in the workforce. I guess it's about even.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel you on that. I mean, just to move on to our next topic, because Tate mentioned it.
Oh, did he?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I didn't
Yeah.
know.
Remember. No, not that video. But remember he said women have an easier life than men. How do you
Yeah.
feel about that?
Huh, that's so true.
Yeah?
Yeah,
I
that's
thought
true.
you would disagree.
And I'm sure because I'm a woman, you feel like I would have disagreed.
I
No,
thought you would.
I feel like it's funny because a year ago I probably wouldn't have said that.
Yeah.
But as I'm learning different things and getting the male perspective on stuff, and I'm literally seeing it in front of my face, I'm like, damn, yeah, no, we got it.
Yeah.
We got it good. We got it good. I must say. Even like, God, I don't even know if I should bring this up. Because I was looking at, it's like this week alone, women, can I bring it up? If anything, just block it out of this.
Okay.
You're seeing these, literally, I think I saw like 7 women this week alone sleeping with little boys. And one actually like had dealings with little girls. But it's like, there's not a lot of repercussions for the woman.
Yeah, it's true.
Whereas if a man did it,
Yeah.
all hell will break loose. Everybody would want to chop off his head.
Why do you think that though?
I've been asking myself that for the whole entire week.
Yeah.
At least as far as that, I have absolutely no idea.
Okay.
It doesn't make sense to me. I feel like they're trying to push something and trying to slowly introduce it through the woman.
Oh, you're talking about pedophilia?
Correct.
Okay.
So, but that's me being
Yeah.
slight conspiracy, but
No, but you're all right. Men do face harsher penalties when it comes to like the law and things of that nature. When it comes to like the death penalty, men are more likely to receive it than women for the same exact crime.
yeah.
So I feel the reason why, I mean, it's always going to be a double standard because as you stated in the, in the beginning, like the men's supposedly supposed to be strong. So
Yeah.
with that standard that is set for the man, anything that he does versus the woman is going to be scrutinized at a higher degree because he's a man and he's supposed to be quote unquote the leader, even though people don't want them to lead. But I think that's why, what's happening right now. And, just to, answer your question, I feel like that's what's occurring. That's why
Yeah.
men, they're getting harsher penalties than women because that expectation that society puts on them. Feel me? And and it's tough to be a man, like in life today. Like people don't realize the kind of pressure that a man has to be something in life. Like a woman, I'm not saying a woman doesn't necessarily have a pressure to be something. You have a pressure to be beautiful. You have a pressure.
I don't know if there's a pressure to be beautiful though.
I think so. Why
I
you
don't think so.
Why not?
I think that's probably how it was back then. But I don't think so because, what is it, in the past maybe 5 years, it's pushing this body positivity. So it doesn't matter about beauty. It just matters about who you are and you loving yourself as a person. And understanding that you are just good as you are as a person and you can get anything or anyone that you want because you are you.
Gotcha.
Has nothing to do with beauty.
I think
In
feel
the
like,
eyes of maybe women. Now men, I don't know. Maybe y'all do value beauty, but I'm just saying I don't think it's that.
yeah, I mean, I see that, but I think that's just like a niche or like something like maybe Hollywood or TV's pushing. I feel like in the real world or beauty is still seen the way it has seen. Like, not to bring Lizzo into this. Like for me, I don't see her as beautiful. Like, and
Really? I think she's so pretty. I do. I
do
think she's
not.
pretty. Granted, yes, you may want to You could lose. I mean, even
You can
maybe
lose
she
a
can
lot.
lose some weight, but
not
at the
some.
end,
A lot.
at the end of the day, her face though is very beautiful.
Well,
You just gotta look at her. Just look at her face. She's very pretty.
God gave me vision that I can see 365. Well, not
Okay.
360, 180. So like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna see the body. So like, yeah, like, that's not on point, and that's an unhealthy lifestyle to live. Like, even like bodybuilders, that have a lot of muscles, but they're carrying a lot of weight. That's still unhealthy. So there's a carrying capacity that
But yes, but understand that even those in the medical field are not telling these people that having weight is not good. They're also pushing body positivity as well. So if now a medical expert is saying you're healthy the way that you are, big or small, you're gonna take that in and say, yeah, I weigh 500 pounds. I am
yeah.
beautiful. I am healthy at 500 pounds because these experts are saying so. And they're only saying so, of course, because they can make more money, but nobody really wants to look at it like that.
Yeah. Yeah, but at the end of the day, it still falls on you, like, to realize that.
And also, I know you said beauty, but even I'm gonna say women, even women, because I don't think it's the same thing for men. Even women that are not considered beautiful, they can still get a guy. They can still get a guy to sleep with them.
Well, that's not
Maybe not
about a beauty. Like, yeah.
I mean, but as women are not gonna separate it like, oh, he's gonna sleep with me.
yeah. Like,
Doesn't mean if a guy sleeps with you, in your brain as a woman, you think that he likes you.
okay.
Period. Period. The end. So now, if a girl's not considered beautiful, and here's this fine guy, or even just a regular guy, he's willing to sleep with her, she's gonna think she's the ish.
Yeah.
And now, who are you now to say that she's not when she's had experience with other dudes messing with her
Okay.
and being with her?
There's that saying that anyone is a 10 after a couple of drinks, right? So like, bro, like,
It doesn't even have to take a couple drinks.
yeah, it doesn't. Yeah, for most people it doesn't, but
Yeah.
like, it could be one drink, or it could be the end of the night, and you like, it's calling, and like, most guys, I would say, like, beauty is not on the top of the list if you want to just sleep with someone. So
See, but women don't know. Women are not gonna look at it that way.
yeah, and that's,
So now, how are you to tell her that she's not fine the way that she is?
I'm here to give her a reality check. Reality is cruel. Reality is cruel. So like, people need to have a proper proper self-evaluations of themselves. So when you enter like the dating market, you know that I'm a 5. So if I'm a 5, I may not be able to get that 10, but I can get other 5s.
But
I
that's
can
what I'm
maybe get a 6.
saying. But they're not gonna know this.
That's why people got to give them a reality check.
But nobody's gonna give them a reality check.
It's gonna happen soon.
I don't know. I don't think it's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just don't. Man, I just don't. Based on what I see online, you have
No, I feel like
most women feel like they're a 10.
yeah.
They feel like
Yeah.
they're better looking than any other female around them and beyond.
Yeah.
And you, as a person, you can't tell them otherwise.
I mean, you can't, but
You can, but they're not gonna take that in. They're not
Yeah.
gonna. They're gonna think you're hating.
that's true. But life will deal with them accordingly, because I would say the women that think that they're a 10 and they're not, they're trying to take the man's position, because a lot of these women who are in that space, they sleep with a lot of guys, so they feel like, okay, if I'm sleeping with a lot of guys, yeah, I must be a 10.
Yeah.
Because on the other shoe, like, if a guy is sleeping with a lot of girls, he might think he's a shit because, I'm getting all these girls, you feel me? Like, but it's not true. Like, guys, it's easier for women to get access to sex versus men. So I think that aspect that a lot of these women are not seeing is diluting their their self-vision, their, proper rating of themselves. It's okay to say I'm a 10 to myself. Like, bro, you're not going to say I'm a 1. Like, you want to have that self-confidence.
Yeah.
It's just like sports. Like, there was this guy who said, I'm better than LeBron. Like, I mean, like, bro, you haven't played a game in the league.
But that's that self-confidence.
It
It's
is.
all about having confidence in yourself.
Yeah, but going to the mirror and saying you're a 10 is I consider that self-confidence, but like knowing how to differentiate that, saying, yeah, to myself, I'm a 10, but to others, I may be a 6, I may be a 5. I think that's the leap people have to take, and a lot of these women would have to take too, in that aspect. So, but yeah. Yeah, so and I think with the internet, it kind of gives people a bad aspect of reality. Like a lot of this stuff is for clickbait. Like
Some are, but I think some of it's not. I feel like they really go on these platforms and show off themselves because they feel like they're amazing.
yeah. I mean,
And they want the world to see how amazing they are.
yeah. And the world will tell you otherwise, right? So
They will, but then you have half of the world that'll say they are amazing.
yeah.
And so now you're not looking at the negative, you're looking at the positive comments, and you're like, you know what? Well, they say that I'm amazing, so I am amazing. They say that I'm a 10, so I am a 10. Screw that dude. He's a 1 anyway. He can't tell me that I don't look like a 10.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, you can't save everyone, right? You got to let some people die at the hands of their own ignorance. So, I forgot what I was going to say. Yeah. So, I mean, back to the topic. Women do have it. I feel like they do have it easier. Not to say that women don't have their own problems, because women have their own sets of problems that makes their life a lot difficult versus men. But I feel like in the grand scheme of things, men have it a little bit harder because we're judged harder.
So let me ask this. And I was asking my brother this the other day. I forgot what we looked or what he sent in our family chat. But it was something where the rights of the man was taken away. I'm going to say it like that because I forget exactly what it was. But if women get away, I don't want to say get away with a lot of things, but if men don't necessarily have it as easy as a woman, right? You have it to where the woman automatically gets the kid in a divorce.
Yeah.
Even though she may not be the greatest of mothers.
All mothers are great though, right?
What else? Maybe the woman initiates the divorce, so she takes the kids and she gets the alimony and all of that other type of stuff. Whatever rights the man should have, or whatever rights women have, the man doesn't have. Gotcha. But my thing is, and my brother said this is easier said than done, and I'm coming at it from a woman's perspective. Gotcha. But I would think, just like how women all come together and try to fight for their rights, shouldn't men do the same thing? Shouldn't all men come together and try to change the law in some way, shape, or form and say, you know what, as a man, the woman initiated the divorce, but I want the kids, I'm a great father. Let all men come together and let's change the law as far as having the women. I mean, I don't know if this is a law or not, gotcha. But have the father also have custody of the children, or also get whatever rights y'all need to have as men.
I mean, it sounds nice, but I don't think it's a rights issue. I feel like it's an interpretation of the law. The law is, it's not written in a way where it's biased towards women, but the people who are enforcing the law interpret it in such a way where it is. So I don't think changing the law would do anything, because the law is supposed to protect everyone under the law. So it's supposed to be unbiased. So, but if I have a judge here that's interpreting the law, he or she might be biased towards women, And one thing I heard about child support is the state I think the state gets a certain percentage of the child support.
do.
So there's an incentive there to take the person who
Yeah.
has the highest income to the
Yeah.
cleaners. You know, feel me? And I'm not gonna say 9 times out of 10 it's the men, but a majority of the time it's the men who has the higher, earning potential in that aspect. So they usually get, hit with the on the short end of the stick in terms of that. But I mean, now you see men are coming together. That's why, like,
They are.
most of them are not trying to get married.
That's not coming together, man.
Yeah, that's coming together.
That's not coming together.
Yes.
Not getting married. Okay. I don't know if you saw one of my videos before, and I hate to take us off topic, but you mentioned the whole marriage thing.
Yeah.
Now, what I see, because I like looking at male red pill content because
Okay.
it actually allows me to like think and learn a little bit.
Got you.
So a lot of times when I look at these manosphere content, they say that why did the woman give her body to a man that she wasn't married to, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, granted, sure, yeah. But now what if, no, not even what if, because men don't want to get married, because you just said it. They're all coming together and not getting married.
Yeah, most
so
of them.
if the stipulation is women should have babies based on
I
whether or
remember
not
this.
they're married,
Yeah.
then how do we expect women to have kids if men are just strictly not wanting to get married?
Okay. I mean, that's an easy question to answer. Like,
How?
let me ask you this.
Okay.
If a guy approached you in the wrong way, would you entertain him?
No,
You would not, right?
I would not.
So if a guy approached you in the right way, would you entertain him?
I would.
Okay. So I would say women have influence on that. So the reason why guys aren't getting married because they feel like, okay, I'm getting the short end of the stick. But if a woman, how can I say, if the woman actually say, hey, you feel me? Like, well, I can't say hey. If the woman, if the woman carries themselves in a way to entice that man to marry her, that will change.
But all women can do that.
But they're not, because in this society,
All women can do that, and if
can.
they do that, doesn't mean that they won't change and be
no,
what.
it will, because remember you posted something on your Instagram, and I'm just alluding to make a point. You said basically if there were no advantages for women to get married, will they still get married?
Yeah.
And I posted, what did I put? I put yes, because that's how it was before the modern era. So
What was their incentive before the modern era?
there weren't no incentives. Like there weren't no
But
incentives.
there was protection.
Well, I mean, there weren't no incentives for them to get divorced. Divorce was lower
Oh, okay. I see
than
what you're
that.
saying.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying.
Okay.
So women, a lot of people say this, women have acts or the gatekeepers of sex, right?
Mm-hmm.
So with this modern era of like new feminist movement and like you can sleep with as many dudes as you want, right?
Yep.
So if I'm a man and there's a girl is giving her body away, I would say cheaply, why would I be incentivized to marry that person? Like, you feel me? Like,
Because okay, so here's my thing, because you said cheaply, right?
Yes.
God, okay. So is it cheap? Okay, so what do you consider cheaply?
Okay, so
Because my thing is this.
okay.
Most men, I'd be so shocked if a man says, I will give a woman 6 months to get to know her before I sleep with her.
Okay.
Right? That doesn't happen. Nowadays, it doesn't happen. Men want to just have sex with you.
Yeah.
You know,
First night.
yes, have a relationship, sure, but they're not going to wait 6
course
months.
not.
They're not going to wait some can't even wait 2 months. Some
No.
can't even wait 2 weeks. Okay.
Yeah.
So my thing is this: if a woman is talking, if she's vetting, and she meets one guy,
Sure.
they click, she sleeps with him in a month, it doesn't work out.
Okay.
Okay, boom, that's one. happens again.
In another month, so you got
And
rack up 12 guys in a
Right.
year.
But it's like, how is she supposed to, what is the woman supposed to do in that case when it's like no one is working out for her that she thought was a potential mate?
She needs to do work on herself, because that means she's selecting the wrong people. So like at the end of the day, it's all about like self accountability. I feel like, and we can't say most guys will wait. The right guy will wait. The right guy will wait to have, sex with a woman. It's the guy who's not right for you who won't wait, because if that guy truly wants a life with you, a relationship with you, he would wait, because like, bro, like,
I want someone to tell me if you would wait. Would you?
depending on the girl, yeah, I would wait. I don't.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean,
So how do you make that determination? Do you know?
I mean, I'm more of a conservative, so I have traditional values. I'm a Christian, so I make my determination based on my values. So I'm not gonna go around sleeping with any girl just to do it. Like, and that's the world that we live in. Like, what is precious is no longer precious. And this girl said it on a video, like, sex is supposed to be something precious. Like, you're giving your body up to someone, right? And that connection that you have makes it like even better. Like, so if you're giving your body up to someone, why would you just give it up to a random person, or give it up to a person who can't even wait like a year or a month or whatever the case may be? Because like, your body is the only thing you technically own in this world, right? Like, you don't own anything else. Like, when you die, everything else is going away. Even your body technically is going away, but your body is the only thing that you really own, and you should hold that to like a high standard. At least that's how I feel. And and that's, like I said, based on how I was raised. Like, so the right man will wait. Like, and if the person that you're with doesn't want to wait, then they're not the right person for you. And you just have to realize that there's like people who are like drop dead gorgeous, like, damn, like, you feel me? And you want to get with that person because their beauty, and you feel like, and that's the one thing about beauty, like, we take beauty and we feel like that makes a person great, right? But no, beauty doesn't. Like, and you may see a person who's beautiful and you want to get with that person, but if he or she does not want to wait, or doesn't check your box, they check your boxes but they don't want to wait, then that's not the right person for you. Because like I said earlier, like, sex, your body, that's the most precious gift that you can give to anyone. Like, and because this world that we live in, this type of era that we're living with, like hookup culture and everything like that, that is turned into something that is recreational. And because it's recreational, people say, hey, I can't wait. Like, to compare it to sports, like when it comes to like basketball, I love basketball. Like, there's times when I go to run, right? And I see the court and I'm like, dang, I'm not gonna run, I'm gonna go play. Like, bro, like, and I have to like hold myself back. I'm like, oh, I gotta go do my run before I go play. And it's kind of like that. Like, we need to realize that, and try to break the mold. Like, guys pursue women in the aspect that the woman will accept. And if women say, hey, I'm not willing to accept this, then it's going to take time, but eventually it will change. At least that's what I think.
Okay, I feel you.
Yeah. All right. You want to watch the second video?
Let's watch the second video.
Yeah.
This woman, she already had some kind of masculine features, like deeper voice, deeper whatever. She decided to be a man because she wanted to see how men were treated. Not sex change, an experiment. She ended up killing herself after like a year and a half of this because she said she was treated so horribly by women that she couldn't even believe that this is how men lived.
Men are suffering. They have different problems than women have, but they don't have it better.
And I was like, way, but I can see it. I can see that you guys don't speak up. You don't say the things that we need to hear because you want to love us, you want to support us, you want to be there for us, but you guys are supposed to be. You're supposed to be the strong one. Yeah. You're supposed to be these things, and yet we've been fighting to be your equal, fighting to be the alpha. And out of kindness, you guys are stepping back, but it's a losing war for both of us.
Yeah.
think about
I
that?
saw that.
You saw
I
that?
saw that before.
Yeah?
Yeah, that was sad. That was
Yeah.
sad.
It was. But just
I mean, women are cruel, man.
yeah, it is. It
Women are
is.
cruel, but women don't feel that they are because, again,
Because they don't
we're
care.
taught. Okay, some don't care.
Yeah.
But also, we are taught that even if we're cruel to a man, they should be able to eat it. They should be able to take it.
Take it like a man.
Take it like a man. Take it like a man.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's true. Just to add some clarity to that video, she didn't kill herself right after the year. It took some time. I think she killed herself like maybe 10 years later.
Was this an experiment, or did she fully transition?
No, she didn't transition. She was
She was just doing an experiment.
yeah, she's a lesbian, and she decided for a year to try to be a man. And she wrote a book about it. And this was like, I think around 2006 or something like that. And yeah, she did it for a year. She dated guys, which was,
She dated guys looking the way how she was
no,
looking?
she dated women. I apologize.
Oh, okay.
She dated women, and yeah, and she went through those experiences, and I think she said the max time she went on like 3 dates, and she finally told him and stuff like that, and she found out a lot of things about guys. She thought guys were like gonna be rude, like they wouldn't accept her, but she was like the opposite was true. Like the guys accept her with open arms and stuff like that, but they kind of felt
The guys, I don't know if I understand. Like she told men that she was doing an experiment?
no, she
Or she just said, yeah, I'm a
joined
guy.
she joined a bowling league,
Okay.
and those guys accepted her.
So they knew that she was a woman?
No,
No, they just thought, they knew she was...
they thought
but
she
they
was a
thought
guy.
she was a guy. Okay.
Yeah, they thought she was a guy, and that was the extent. She didn't tell them that
Yeah.
until like the whole thing was over. But yeah, but that's, I mean, coming from a woman, I would say, yeah, that's true that men don't have it easier. And this video, I felt like tied the whole conversation together, because it's easy. I mean, it's easy for a man to say, I don't have it easy. But coming from a woman's perspective, from their eye view, I think that makes it more impactful, I would say, because now you can actually experience it, you can live it, and things of that nature. And a lot of things that she said, like, men do suffer quietly because of, like you said, take it like a man. You have to be strong. You have to show that no weakness at times, and you have to be that face of strength in life. So men tend to suffer quietly. That's why men have
But why do men nowadays suffer in silence when there's so many options for like therapy? You could talk to
therapy?
You could talk to your boys, right?
Yeah, I mean, you talk to your boys, but
you could talk to.
it's not like you're gonna, like, your boy's not your therapist. Like, at some point in time, like, if your homeboy keeps coming up to you like crying and shit like that, like, you're gonna be like, bro, you good, man? Like, what's up? I mean, you can
So
have.
then what it sounds like you're saying is that even men can contribute to being cruel to their own friends, not
cruel, but
allowing their friend to be vulnerable and open.
no, I don't think. I'm not saying that, but I'm saying it happens to everyone. I think there will be a time where we all will have our fill with someone who's always, complaining, or who always, just being overly emotional and things of that nature. But like your boys, yeah, they're gonna have your back. Like I have my homeboy who I talk to a lot, and I tell him things when things are on my mind, and I'm not, right mental space. He helps me out, and vice versa. I help him out, and things of that nature. But at a certain point, like, as a man, society tells you that you need to handle things yourself, like, and without being able to like handle things yourself, there's like personal battles that you fight is just like in your mind, and like your friend can't help you fight these mental battles. Like, you have to fight them alone, and that comes with, with everyone. Like,
do you have to fight them alone though?
I do.
Why do you feel that way?
I
Because,
think,
like I said, there's options now. There's places that you can go to get the help that
The-
you need.
Yeah, there are options, but I feel like the battles that you fight alone are the battles that make you the strongest. Some battles, like talking to someone, is not gonna help you win that battle or strengthen you. There's some things where therapy is there. Yeah, you need to go to therapy, but therapy is like a taboo thing within I would say in Black culture and also in with men, like therapy. No, like bro, like like you said, take it like
Take
a
it like a
man.
man.
Yeah, that's how it is. Like
Yeah.
and a lot of successful men, they go through that. There was that guy, I forgot what was his name, who nobody knew his life was not. It was a black guy. I think he was on Ellen. Do you know?
Oh, Twitch.
Yeah, he
Twitch.
committed suicide, right?
Yeah, that was sad.
Yeah, and that's
You would have never guessed it.
you would never because, like I said, men, there's a lot of pressure for you to be something. There's a lot of pressure for you to be like successful. There's a lot of pressure for you to put on the strong face. There's a lot of pressure for you not to be vulnerable because you're the man. Like, bro, like you're supposed to have control of your of your emotions and things of that nature. So yeah, that's how I feel. Compared to women, where it's like I mean, women tend to be more emotional. I think
Yes.
that's because you're
10 women are emotional.
yeah. Well,
I
yeah.
can say that. You can't say
Yeah.
that. To make
Get
it
canceled,
easier.
right?
But no, yeah, women are emotional.
Yeah, women
I'll
are.
admit that.
Yes. And that's why women and men, they make a beautiful pair, because the women are emotional, men are more logical and sturdy. So when you bring them together, it's like, two halves making a, full circle, because the men can receive that emotional support from, their spouses and stuff like that. And when the women feels like they're feeling swayed left and right, by society, they can rely on their man to be the rock and their support and their direction. So I think that's pretty cool in that aspect. But yeah, but men tend to like not have it as easy. They tend not to be able to have like ways, I would say, like ways to really express their, I mean, we express our emotions, but not to the extent that, women would express their emotions. The most acceptable emotion for most men to accept or to express would be like, anger, maybe, yeah, I would say like anger and maybe competitiveness, I guess. I don't know. But those are like society.
Do you think men could be let's say, I can't speak for the single men, but let me touch on men that have a spouse. Do you think that they can be vulnerable with their spouse?
Yeah, I think so. I mean,
Okay.
that's supposed to be your life partner. If you can't be vulnerable to that person, then y'all shouldn't be married. Like, I think it's you're supposed to be vulnerable to each other, and bringing it back to the sex thing. That's an act of vulnerability. So if you can
For
do
the man or for the woman
for
or
both,
both?
I'd
You
say
think for both?
I think so. Yeah,
Okay.
I think for both. Because you're in your most vulnerable state. Like, you're alone with someone, you're naked. So like, it doesn't get any more vulnerable than that. Like, right? So like, I feel like that's the most vulnerable you can. Well, not the most, but that's one of the vulnerable places. And you do that with your wife and or your husband. And if you can't, bare your soul to that person, then that person's not worthy of the vows that you take. So
There are a lot of people that, from what I've heard, a lot of men don't feel comfortable in being vulnerable, even if their significant other says, I would want you to be vulnerable.
yeah,
They don't feel like they can. And then if they do, then the woman kind of flips.
yeah,
And then she doesn't feel like that's
manly, yeah,
manly
yeah.
to be vulnerable.
I think it depends on the situation. You can't be complaining about any and everything, but there's some things that you should be able to be vulnerable with your spouse. Like, to bring it back to the Bible, God said man needs a helper, right? So he created Eve, right? So if you can't help me in that aspect when I need support in that vulnerable, then you're not my helper.
Yeah.
Like, so I shouldn't be married to you, or this relationship shouldn't work out. So I think it's all situational, but like if I get in a car accident, and it's like a little fender bender, I'm not gonna go and like cry to my wife and say I got into a car accident. Like, but like if something tragic happened, like a family member died, I would want to be vulnerable to my wife, and want her to be supportive. Like I think it's different. Like for women, like, oh, like if they get in a car accident, yeah, that's very traumatic. They'll, be emotional. Then so it all depends, I would say, on the situation.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, it's cool. What was I thinking? But yeah, so to bring it back to everything, I feel like women have their own set of problems. Men have their own set of problems.
Yeah, one is not. They're both not equal.
They're not
Different problems.
Different-
Each gender has their own problems.
Gender, sex, or
Sex,
whatever.
yes. Whatever you want to call yourself.
Yeah, have their own problems. Society tends to put more pressure on the man, which I would say makes their life a little bit more difficult than it comes to women, because we have to be the strong one, right? Men have to be the strong one.
They do.
Yeah, and
I wouldn't want a man that's
No?
not strong.
You don't want a feminine man.
I certainly don't.
No?
Do not.
They're the ones who make the most money.
Who?
I'm joking.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh,
No, but I think that's what a lot of women want nowadays. They want
they want a feminine man?
Well, I think in
They
their early.
say that.
Yeah.
Listen, no, I wish I could make my own TV show where I would give a woman exactly what she wants,
Yeah.
and then she'll realize that's not what she wants. You don't
Yeah.
want a man that's like, what do I look like if, I don't know, something is about to pop off and then I'm the one defending him? Like, that doesn't make any. For me, it doesn't make any sense. Now,
Yeah.
for others, they might be comfortable with their woman jumping in and saving the day, but I'm not going to do that.
Yeah.
But maybe that's my old school way of thinking.
Yeah. I mean, I feel you on that, but you
I don't think women want a man that's feminine.
You don't
they
think so?
they say it, but I feel like they want little attributes of feminism in their man.
Okay.
Majority is going to be masculine.
I mean, so what do you think about like the culture that we have now with toxic masculinity? I feel like that is women trying to push men to be more.
It
feminine.
is. It is. But some things they're labeling as toxic masculinity is not. Some are,
Okay. Like.
but I
what?
feel like there's toxicity in everything.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. I mean, like, what things do you think they're labeling as toxic that is not? I feel like men are just men.
Something that's toxic, that they're saying that is toxic, that is
Yeah.
not. Saying that saying that they value a woman's beauty. Women feel like that's very toxic. That you should not look at a woman and say,
Okay.
you shouldn't rate a woman from 1 to 10. Fine, okay, fine.
Yeah.
Me personally, I don't even care. But it's toxic to only value a woman's beauty or her youth, and to say she's hit the wall at a certain age when she's still considered fine.
He said still considered fine.
Still considered fine.
Yeah.
Like stuff like that. But no, but yeah, like I wouldn't say that's toxic. Well, saying that you value someone's beauty, I don't feel like it's toxic, because I wouldn't want to be with a guy
Who's
that I
ugly?
don't feel looks attractive.
Who looks
Looks unattractive.
ugly?
Yeah, I don't
unattractive?
want an unattractive man.
Okay.
Definitely not.
So you don't want an ugly man.
No.
Gotcha. But yeah, I think those are facts though. Like, I mean, the hitting the wall thing,
You think that's a fact?
that a woman hits the wall.
Yeah.
I mean, that's when they say that, that has to do with like fertility. Like at a certain age, it's more difficult for a woman to conceive.
That is true, but I don't know if they really.
At least that's what I
They-
believe. Yeah,
I mean, I guess,
because I think someone said it.
but a lot of women have children after a certain age.
Yeah, that doesn't mean you can't have
Yeah.
children after a certain age. It just means that it's more difficult. Women
Women would literally have to have children
Mhm.
based on what I hear in the red pill content, like in a span of like 5 to 10 years, and
Women-
that's it.
in their 20s.
Yes.
10 years.
And not even, they say from like 20 to 25. In the past 25, you've hit the wall.
Well, they are.
But it's like you have to have children within that period of time,
Yeah.
that time span, or you're doomed forever.
Yeah. I mean, the reason why they say that, at least what I think they say that, is because a lot of women in their, I can't even say a lot of women, the women that they're talking about in their 20s, they are very promiscuous. Then after that,
Yes.
they try to become a wife after that. And it's kind of like, I was gonna bring, the Michael B. Jordan thing, the corny situation.
Yeah.
The nice guy is the corny guy. You didn't want to get with the nice guy.
Yeah.
You wanted to get with like Tyrone. You wanted to get with like the drug dealer. You
Yeah.
feel me? And then now you're, past what is considered your natural prime.
Your prime. Yeah.
You want to settle with the guy who you didn't want, but who is the stable guy. So I think that's the reason why they bring up the wall situation, because in your prime, you're not choosing the guy that was stable, the nice guy, or not the nice guy in the sense of the guy who's meek and stuff like that, or who's weak, but the guy who's respectful, the guy who's wanted to do something with his life. You chose the opposite.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I get it. But the thing is how Western society is.
course.
You're not going to have a lot of 20-year-olds that want to get married. It
Yeah.
just is what it is.
yeah, I mean, you don't necessarily have to get married in your.
They're not going to want to
20s.
settle down and be with just one person. They want to explore and live life to the fullest.
Exactly. So
And in your 20s when you live life to the fullest. Supposedly.
yeah, and you rack up a whole bunch of bodies. That brings us to like what you said in the beginning. Like you said, they don't want to like, and I think you said in the beginning. I think you're about marriage.
Men don't want to get married.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I said women would have to, change their behavior to allow them or entice them to get married. So
But do they really? Would women really have to change their behavior?
Yeah,
because you're not gonna know. Here's why.
Mhm.
Because women marry for love, right? So
nowadays they do, but no, not
Okay.
historically.
Okay. Let me finish my point, and then I'll get to that.
Okay.
So then, since they marry for love, love is an emotion. You can be in love one day with one person and then fall out of love with them the next. So I can be a really nice person, and you can say, "This is the one for me. I'm a really nice person. I'm the one. I check off all the boxes." But then it's like, damn, tomorrow, I may not want to be with you anymore. So how is the guy supposed to know that she's not going to change? This girl wasn't promiscuous.
Okay.
So now is the guy really focusing on her promiscuity versus everything else? I don't know if a guy is really paying attention to that, because even if a girl wasn't promiscuous, she could still not be the one to marry.
The one. That's the issue. The one. I think there's no such thing as the one, but when we talk about this thing called love, I think love, we can't just define it as an emotion. And if we do define it as just an emotion, just like all emotions, they come and go. So if a woman is just relying on her emotions, of course you're going to fall out of love with someone, because that emotion is not going to be there. Because once you gain some kind of familiarity to someone, it's just gonna be, you know, it's just gonna be like as usual, as like, how can I say this? It's just gonna be like another day with that person. So
Yeah,
it's not gonna be
yeah.
anything significant. And that's why we would want to, like, I guess, define love as a commitment to a person. So there was this book, I forgot what is it called? 5 Love Languages. Have you ever read that?
No.
No. Okay.
I keep hearing about it though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should read it. But
I should read it.
Yeah.
Yeah, guys telling me that.
yeah, you should read
I
it.
heard
No,
most men are against that book.
no, it's good. A girl told me to read it, and I read it and watched the video too. It was good. But the thing I wanted to bring out of that is I think his name is Dr. Chapman. He said the in love phase. He said generally the in love phase lasts about 2 years, and after 2 years, that's when you see marriages start breaking down. So that brings us back to the point of the emotions. Like, if we're just relying on emotions, emotions are going to fail us. And that's why the men and the woman combination is so great, because the man is not reliant on the emotion, but the woman is. So when they come together, they can create a beautiful commitment, you know? So, but yeah, I would say, like, if I ever go out with a girl or whatever, and she says, "Oh, I fell out of love with you," I'm like, okay, well, depending on how long we went out together, I mean, it's going to hurt, but I'm going to say to myself, okay, I chose the wrong person, because I don't see love as an emotion. I see the emotion as part of that whole thing. But my love to you is a commitment, because if I rely on my emotions, it's going to fail me. There's days where I don't want to get out of bed and do things, but I have to get out of bed, right? Because I have a commitment to keep. And to keep those commitments, you want to, get out of bed and do the work that is necessary. I said like this before, like on a video, like a while ago, like love is never something you find. Love is something that you build. You build it through like everyday commitment, like, and it's work. You got to be disciplined. So every day that you live with that person, or you and that person have some kind of connection, you have to do something to keep that connection alive. You got to do something every single day, just like your job. To get better at your job, you have to work at it. You have to improve yourself. So, I mean, that's how I see it. And when people always say, "Oh yeah, I fall in love, I fell out of love," I'm like, well, you never really
We're in
liked
love.
Yeah.
You were in love with something that they had.
Yeah,
That fulfilled your needs.
exactly.
Yeah.
And
But see, you had mentioned about that's how it is now. People marry because of love, but they didn't back then. But back then, what do you think they married for? Necessity, correct?
yeah, I think they married for necessity, status, whatever. I mean, I have not done the research on it.
Yeah. Because my thing is this. It's almost like, but back then though, because I hear a lot of people say the marriage rate was better back then than it is now.
Yeah.
But that's because back then I feel like women just didn't feel like they could do much. Like, like my own grandma, right? Like, we grew up with my grandma, my grandpa. They didn't really like each other.
They didn't really like each other.
You know what I mean? But we grew up feeling that was normal. Like, even to this day, I still feel like it's normal. It's like, oh, y'all don't like each other. Okay, whatever. Y'all love each other. That means y'all love each other.
Yeah.
But they married because, of course, she had a baby. So it's like, you got to
That's
put
the
these
island
people
culture.
together
Yeah.
to get married. Now, granted, I'm sure she loved my grandpa. My grandpa loved her somewhere here and there, but she always felt like she wasn't in love with him. But she stayed because of necessity. So it's like, marriages back then only, to me, I don't know, I did not do the research, but lasted because of necessity, not because the woman truly, or even the man, wanted to really be there. They just felt like they had to. One, because, like you said, status. Two, maybe they had kids out of wedlock in the beginning and just had to get married because it wasn't socially acceptable to not be married if you have a kid.
Yeah.
Whereas nowadays, like, we have the ability to work and maintain our own as women, which is why we have that choice to say whether or not we want to. Hold on, let me take that back. Not that we have the choice to get married, because guys facilitate that, but we don't have to
Rely on man.
stay in a marriage that we're not comfortable with.
Yeah, you guys are. I think that's wrong. Stay in a marriage that we don't feel comfortable with. And
Or we're not happy in.
You brought the stat that women divorce 80% of the
80%.
time. So it comes full circle.
Yeah.
I guess, but I feel like that's true in some aspect, but happiness, like all other emotions, they come and go. So what's remaining? Like, is your commitment, like New Yorkers used to say, word is bond, right? What is your word? What is your commitment? And happiness, there's going to be seasons where you're not going to be happy.
Oh, yeah.
You're going to be,
sure.
and
You're
when
going to hate that person.
Yeah, you're going to want to kill them, right?
Yeah.
In a loving way. But when you said I do,
you made a commitment
you made
before
a commitment.
God.
Yes.
I get that. Trust me, I get that. I've never married, but I'm just saying, like, I get that. Like,
Yeah.
when people say, oh, I fell out of love, it kind of bothers me too. Because I'm like, but
you made a commitment. Like, what's up?
Like, y'all not even going to try to make it work, though?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, you just going to quit?
Exactly. And
Yeah.
which is crazy that it happens. But I feel like back in the days when, I used to be like arranged marriages, I think the man did have interest in that woman, because the man would have to go up to the father and
Yeah.
and do all that stuff. And those marriages, at least from what I've heard, they've lasted longer. Even if the woman wasn't in love with the man at the time, she eventually like
Fell in love with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
like remember Coming to America?
Yes, that's my favorite movie.
That was an arranged marriage. The dad and
The one he didn't marry, you mean?
No, I'm talking about the dad
Oh, and the mom. Yeah.
and the
yeah,
mom.
yeah.
And the mom specifically said that
She grew to love him.
she grew to love him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I would too. Damn, he's a king. He was a king.
He's king. Well, I mean, you may grow to love someone,
Yeah.
but they have to have the right traits and stuff like that.
True.
So, so I was gonna say, like, that shows you that. Well, I mean, it's a movie, it's fictional, but that's what the point I was trying to make. Like, it happens. Then, of course, the son picks the opposite route, right? He picked the American route, right?
He married for love.
He married for love, and live happily ever after.
Yeah.
Until part 2 came. But
That was happily.
yeah, it was
That was
happily.
happily.
Part
They were
2
still
was
together.
they're still together. Son was like, he had a reject son. But yeah, it wasn't as good as part 1.
Oh yeah, definitely not. I
So-
hate when they do remakes. It gets on my nerves.
Yeah, it should have came out earlier.
No, it shouldn't have came out.
No, it should have. It was a classic. You gotta bring some of the classics back.
No, a classic should remain a classic.
Well, yeah. Well, think that's about it. Do you have any final like advice for someone who's going through a tough time? Like what do you do when you like go through a tough time? Like, do you go eat ice cream? Like, do you go shoot guns?
Gosh. I want to shoot guns. I have a gun.
Ooh.
Oh, you can edit that out if you want to.
She's packing, guys, so don't approach her wrong.
What do I do? Honestly, I talk to a selective few. I have a very small circle of friends.
That's good.
I don't always tell my business, but if I'm not feeling good, I'll talk to them.
Got you.
I'll talk to them and they'll give me some advice. So I would always say, if you're not feeling up to par, get some advice from good friends, not friends that pretend to be your friend, not associates who you deem your friend. Because a lot of y'all have a lot of those. But I'm talking about real, true friends.
Oh, that's good. I mean, it's gonna be hard to sometimes hard to determine who's your real true friend
That's true.
until
Oh,
stuff hit the
trust.
fan.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. Believe you me, I know this.
Yeah. No, I
Yeah.
agree. Talking to someone, but also for me, like I like reflection.
Mm-hmm.
For me, like I'm a thinker, so I tend to like reflect, and
Mm-hmm.
I tend to like think and just go through things in my mind
Yeah.
to try to relieve that. Then also like being active.
Mm-hmm.
So like if I'm going through something like when I used to shoot hoops a lot, that used to be like my sanctuary. I used to
Yeah.
just go there and like shoot hoops and just forget about my problems, whatnot. But I agree with that. Talking to someone, you know, you said earlier, therapy. If it's affordable and you find someone that you click with, that's a great option as well. And I think in just not giving yourself like a pass, like life is difficult for all of us, and
true.
we are our worst critic actually. Like if if you hear what people say to themselves in their mind, you'd be like, damn, I would fight that person, like, right?
Listen, y'all don't want to know what's in my brain. Oh God, y'all would think I needed some help.
So that's, yeah. So I think giving yourself a break
Mm-hmm.
and the things that you mentioned are great avenues
Yeah.
to go to.
Yeah. Or find a really great hobby. Like coming up with Alana's Got Questions.
Yeah.
That actually helped me with a lot of stuff. It
Yeah.
really did. It really
Yeah, I
did.
think you
That's an
alluded to
outlet
that.
for me.
Yeah. I think you alluded to that when I watched one of your things that you used it for, like, I think you said you were going through a breakup or something like that, if I listened correctly.
It wasn't even that. It was me looking at other people breaking up.
Okay.
It was my own relationship issues.
Gotcha.
And I just was like, yeah, the last person that I had dealt with, I was like, I don't understand this person. So let me ask people questions to understand, like, is the way that I'm thinking the right way to think? So yeah, it was literally everything around me, because COVID, when I tell you that revealed a lot of people's relationships, whether they should stay in it or not.
COVID was like the big thing for everyone.
Yes. So
Yeah. I see COVID as a blessing
and a
disguise.
curse.
Yeah, it's a blessing and a
I
curse.
agree. I'd
Yeah.
have to agree.
Because it
Yep.
opened up a lot of things for people, but you know, unfortunately, people suffered
Yeah.
needlessly. But it's all dependent on your outlook, as they say. There was a saying, is like there's two guys in a jail cell. One sees stars, the other sees bars, and the difference is what? Not in the men, but in their outlook. So, yeah. So just to end it off, guys, always have a positive outlook.
Yeah.
If you're going through something tough, make sure you seek counseling.
Yep.
Make sure you talk to real friends.
Real friends.
Real friend.
Real. I'm stressing real
Yeah,
friends.
real friends. So pull their card if they're
Yeah. Yeah. You can always test your friends. Trust me. I've tested.
yeah.
They don't know it now, but I've tested over the years. So I know who I can trust with things.
That's great.
And you have to one more thing. You have to have friends that'll be able to check you. And
In
that
what ways?
I have to say, I have my very few friends that can check me
Might
if I'm
check you.
doing something wrong. Like, you
Like-
need to check me as a friend.
Gotcha. Yeah. I think that's
Always
the
have
hardest
you can
aspect.
have my back, but be willing to check what I do so that I can understand that whatever I'm going through, I can do better.
Mm-hmm.
If I did something wrong, let me know I did something wrong.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I agree. I mean, that's the hardest thing in a friendship dynamic, is knowing when to check your friend.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know.
yeah.
But yeah, true friends will do that.
Yep.
So if your friends are not checking you, in a lot of words, they're not true friends. So make sure they check you.
Yeah, we don't want no yes men friends.
Oh yeah. Well, alrighty. So we're gonna sign off. Tell them where they can reach you again.
You can reach me on Instagram at Alana's Got Questions. Yeah, that's it.
Alana's got questions. Do you have any upcoming projects that?
I don't. You know what? I've been meaning to do a podcast since last year. It's just things got really, really hectic, and
Gotcha.
I just haven't yet. But
Okay.
I'm praying that I'll be able to do that.
All right, breaking news. She's going to start a podcast. We got the scoop. All right, so I'll make sure we subscribe to your podcast.
Yay.
And we're out.
Bye.